Hey y'all, how y'all doing tonight? Just wanted to check in, give y'all a piece of my mind about some stuff. So, the landscape today is kind of hard to decipher. I'm not necessarily for one candidate or the other. I try to just live my life the way I live and let other people live the way they want to. But the more I listen and hear the two talk, the more I'm scared for the future of this country. I love the freedoms we have. And I believe that if we listen to a certain side, we're going to lose those freedoms. Everything's going to be moderated, and if people don't like it, it's going to be canceled, cut out, and limited in our freedom of speech. And I don't agree with that. Even if I disagree with you, that doesn't mean you're wrong. You still have your freedoms and rights to believe what you want to believe and do what you want to do, as long as you don't infringe on others. I do not like either candidate as a person. Neither one of them, I believe, are good people. But I do feel like there is one choice in this election if we want to keep our freedoms and not go further into personal debt. I feel like there's a side that wants to take more money from the people that are working and striving to better themselves, to give money to the side that isn't working and just wants free handouts. You are not deserved anything in this life. You have to go out and make your own happiness. You have to go and make your life worth living. The federal government should not take care of you. I believe that the government should step out of our lives and let the states control their own. I am all for states governing their people the way they see fit. Be it they want to allow certain things, extracurricular things. Fine, let them do that in that state. But if another state, say Mississippi, decides they don't want to do what California is doing, they have that right. And if people that live in Mississippi don't like that their state government decided that, then they can move to a state like California. I believe the states should regulate their own. And if you don't like what a state is doing, go to a different state. It's that simple. We shouldn't cater to every state being identical, then we lose the essence of what we are as the United States of America. If we're going to dictate what every state does and make them all do the same thing, then why do we have states? Why do we have borders? Look at Texas. Texas is probably the closest to being its own country in the United States. Continental United States, I should say. But that's their right. That's why they're the Republic of Texas. They would rather be able to dictate themselves than the federal government come in and tell them how to run their state. It's also another reason why a lot of people are moving to Texas from other states like California and, the West Coast. Because you're allowed to do whatever as long as it doesn't break laws and it does not infringe upon others. As long as you mind your own, they're fine with it. But there's still people that don't like that. And I believe if we vote a Democrat, mainly Biden-Harris, into the office, states will lose those freedoms. From what I have heard in the debates and the town halls and the statements from the candidates, I truly believe we will give up rights if we elect Biden and Harris. Am I saying that Trump is the best thing ever? No, I am not. I don't like him as a person, but I have seen good things come out of his terms. I didn't mean to say terms, I meant term. Hopefully, he might have another. But I have seen good things. Because he is not running this country like most presidents do. He is running this like a business. And it's working. And I love that. Because we're not in the business to lose money to the rest of the world. Our country wasn't founded for that. We have to be able to take care of our own before we go and help others. And I think Trump is the person to do that. He is a businessman. He is not a politician. Is he an ass? Yes, he is. But he is also the only president in my generation that A, hasn't started a war, B, has been the reason for one of the biggest peace treaties the world has seen in decades. And I honestly feel proud to call him my president. Now, I do wish they would take his Twitter away. But I also think that his Twitter is kind of a smokescreen. I think he uses it as a way to misdirect the media. As long as they're focused on this, they can sit down and actually work on benefiting the American people. Whereas, if he didn't, they would be blasting him about every little thing, that got brought up in Congress and all of that. Which also leads me to a point. So, we always judge a president based off of all of the things that have went through while they were in office. And I will say, they do have some pull in that. But when it comes to laws and regulations and stuff like that, as long as it wasn't a presidential order, they cannot be the only ones to blame for those types of things. You have to look at the fact that we have a three-power government. We have the Senate, and the President, and the Supreme Court. All of them have to vote on things. All of them have to do something when it comes to making things law. Why don't we blame the other two? No, we always point fingers at the president. And that's wrong. If you want to point the finger, point it at the entire federal government. Most of the federal government does not have the people in mind. Even the people that we vote into office, most of them don't care about us. And I hate to say that, because I'd like to think there's some that do. But everybody wants to point fingers at the president. And I don't think that's right. If you want to vote for whoever, be my guest. But try to find someone that has the people in their heart. If they're just in it for money, I don't think they should be in office. No, I know. You're going into office, and if there wasn't some type of paycheck attached to it, nobody would do it. And I understand that. But don't sell your votes to make more money. Well, guys, if you've got any questions, leave them down in the comments. If you got any pointers for me, drop them down there as well. But as always, y'all have a wonderful night. And think for yourselves. Don't just listen to the media. Do the research. Y'all have a good night.